Norris Nuts Fashion. We design this with passion. Norris Nuts Fashion.
So when I first started cooking, I was really excited because I've always wanted to cook. Then when I actually started, I realized how annoying dishes could be. If you didn't know me, I hate doing the dishes after like cooking a fun meal and then filming it for you, and then just seeing all these dishes in the sink was kind of starting to take a toll on me. But as I started to cook more and more, I actually found some hacks and tips on how to do less dishes when you cook. For all of you who like cooking but just hate doing washing up, I'm going to show you tips and hacks on how to do less dishes. Tip number 1. In baking recipes, even though the recipe is easy, it actually requires a lot of dishes. Like to make most like cookies and cake recipes, you need so many bowls. You need to use a baking dish, your measuring spoons, and all these like utensils they say you have to use. It just drove me nuts to see all these dishes I had to do after I made just like a simple cake. Like everything there, it's just like, it was like overwhelmed. So how do you do less dishes when you're baking? See all these things in my hand? I don't actually need them. They don't need it. Just use your measuring spoons to mix stuff. Measuring spoons have 2 purposes. Measuring your stuff and also mixing. 2 in 1. What a bargain. Also, all these bowls, how about try and mix all your wet and dry ingredients in the same bowl? Now that doesn't always work, but you can always try. Tip number 2. If you're trying to blend something up, don't use a blender. They are extremely annoying to clean. Like instead of using a massive blender to blend stuff like pancake batters and soups, just use a stick blender. Like, would you rather clean a massive jug or just a small blade? I mean, I would pick the small blade any day. And sadly, I know everyone doesn't have a stick blender, so if you only have a blender, that's fine, you can still use it. I'm not saying don't use it. Just saying it's a little hard to clean in my opinion. Tip number 3 on how to do less dishes. Use a dishwasher.
OMG.
This girl could literally be the next Einstein.
Now this may be a bit of an obvious one to some, but instead of doing all the hand washing up there, simply give the dish a little clean and then stick it in the dishwasher. And look at that, we've got some beautiful dishes. Tip number 4. I did 3, sorry, do that again. Tip number 4. That was terrible. Clean dishes along the way as you cook. Let's say you're making a cake. You just made the cake batter and then you're putting the cake batter into the oven, into like the cake dish, and now you're gonna get ready to make the frosting. Please do not get a separate dish to do the frosting. Simply use your dirty cake batter bowl, give it a little bit of a rinse, and then it's clean again. Now you can just make the frosting in this. So instead of doing 2 dishes, you are now doing 1 dish, which means less dishes. Catch me knuckles.